consolidate the camp and invest in his future was the outlook of the supply of gold itself.
We've probably found the biggest deposit closest to surface, and that's pretty much a common theme that a lot of people are talking about. As that happens, I mean, there's going to be a lag in the production profile where there's not going to be enough future ounces to fill it. So putting together this land package was an attempt to address that.
Nighthawk's efforts to date have revealed new opportunities with high-grade discoveries, possible heap leach potential, and future growth through its satellite deposits. Sounds like a solid combination.
Next, Rick Rule shares one final tip you need to consider.
Concentrating your efforts on the high-quality people that have been serially successful in the past and slavishly ignoring everybody else is one key to success.
All companies in today's show validate that the metals market is necessary and investors need to pay attention.
And Canada is playing a key role globally with new projects coming on stream. But countries like Peru are also ones to watch.
Plus, modernizing extraction and processing technologies like MGX will prevail.
Thanks for joining us today. For BTV, I'm Jessica Kaczmarchak.
And I'm Taylor Tone. Until next time, may your portfolio prosper.
To GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.
Are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
USA Radio News with Wendy King.
The controversial issue on how to deal with illegal immigration is heating up again this weekend. The Trump administration says ICE agents will be rounding up thousands of migrants nationwide. KCBS reporter Sarah Donchie.
With the promise of a nationwide roundup of undocumented immigrants starting Sunday, including 140 individuals targeted in Southern California, the future is as uncertain as ever. This man says his only options are stay or return to a life in fear of violence in El Salvador.
Some cities say they won't cooperate with ICE, including New York, Los Angeles, Houston, and Miami. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and China's President Xi Jinping have talked about plans for strengthening collaborations between their countries. It was the second day of Xi's visit to Pyongyang. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root. Here are the 3 most important letters you'll ever need to know. Memorize them. VRA, VRA, VRA. And here's another 3. KIP, KIP, KIP. KIP, KIP, KIP. Kip Herridge runs VRA. It's an investment newsletter, but not just any investment newsletter. It's the best in the country, in my opinion. I've known Kip for almost 20 years. He's like a brother to me. I've witnessed his remarkable success in picking stock winners. I give Kip the most highest endorsement and recommendation. Kip spent 32 years in the investment industry at the highest levels of Wall Street. Kip founded VRA in 2003 and has beat Wall Street for 15 out of those 16 years. And he didn't just beat Wall Street by a little bit. He beat Wall Street like a drum. Here's the big news. Only for my fans at USA Radio, Kip is offering a free 2-week membership to VRA. Go there now. Your risk is 0. Go to VRAinsider.com and get your free 2-week membership. That's VRAinsider.com. Try Kip out for 2 weeks for free, and you'll become a client for life. What are you waiting for? VRAinsider.com.
The president says he'll formally nominate current Army Secretary Mark Esper to be the new Secretary of Defense. This comes only a few days after the abrupt resignation of Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan. He would be replacing ex-Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, who has been gone since January 1st. There's a new accusation of sexual misconduct against President Trump. It comes as a book and a magazine excerpt by longtime advice columnist and one-time cable TV host E. Jean Carroll, who told MSNBC he followed her into a dressing room at a Bergdorf Goodman store.
He shut the door behind us and threw me up against the wall and kissed me.
She claims the president forced himself on her and she freed herself after 3 minutes and ran away. The president says he never even met her, though the magazine shows a picture of the two together in a group of people a few years prior to the alleged incident. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root, the conservative warrior. My show War Now airs every day right here on USA Radio from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm also the star of the Wayne Allen Root Show on Newsmax TV, reaching over 50 million homes. But my favorite role is Speaker Extraordinaire. I was opening speaker at many Donald Trump for President events. I speak at Republican, conservative, and college GOP events, and I'm available to be the star at your next event. Contact me to arrange for a Wayne Root keynote speech. Call toll-free 888-444-ROOT. That's 888-444-ROOT. Or email wayneroot@gmail.com.
The FAA has barred all U.S. registered aircraft from operating over parts of the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman due to heightened tensions between Washington and Tehran. John Clemens reports.
The warning from the Federal Aviation Administration will have an impact on hundreds of flights over the Middle East. I spoke to Captain Ross Amer of Aero Aviation Consulting, who tells us the area of concern is a major airway.
Iran is basically a bridge between East and West. Now there are airways, as we call them, that fly over Iran itself and the Persian Gulf, connecting basically Europe and Far East.
For the USA Radio Network, I'm John Clemens.
A new survey finds fewer than 4 in 10 Americans want to give President Trump 4 more years. USA's Chris Barnes has more.
This latest poll from New Jersey's Monmouth University finds that 37% of voters think President Trump should be reelected in 2020, while 59% want someone new. That latest poll from Monmouth also indicates that the Trump numbers when it comes to his performance ratings are unchanged since last month. 41% approving of his performance in the White House, with 50% saying they disapprove. The poll was taken just before the president officially kicked off his re-election campaign back on Tuesday. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
This message is sponsored by AmeriGlide, featuring the nation's best prices on a home stair lift. Are you having a difficult time getting around your home? Do you avoid going up and down the stairs? Have you even considered moving from your lifelong home just to avoid the stairs? Forget about moving and call AmeriGlide and learn how an easy-to-install stair lift is the perfect solution to help you get your freedom back. Plus, we guarantee the nation's best prices. Make this free call today to learn more. No sales visits are necessary. We can help you over the phone. Now you can stay in the home you've been in for decades. Please do yourself or your loved one a favor. Make this simple 2-minute call right now. Get the lowest price on a stair lift anywhere. Here's the number: 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. That's 800-886-7342.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Brian Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
Good Saturday morning to you. We are back. It is 6 minutes after the hour. And believe it or not, we are live today. This is not a recording. This is not a show from 2 or 3 weeks ago. We are back live. At least I know Tiger and myself are. John, I think you might be alive, although you just got back from a couple of weeks in Michigan. You forgot your computer. What else did you forget? Everything else okay?
You know, I like this format, though, where we go live once a month. How about that?
Yeah, people are like, hey, you're finally back. Great. We do appreciate it. Yeah, we had a couple of weeks there where Tiger and I did a live broadcast at Mission Hills Nursery. And then before that, we were off for some reason. You went to a wedding last week.
In Michigan, you know, in California, San Diego, especially Southern California, we've had so much cool weather and rain that everything's, I would say maybe even vegetable harvests are delayed like, 2 to 3 weeks. in Michigan, the same type of weather. And in northern Michigan, where I was, the leaves had just come out 2 weeks prior to me being there on the trees.
It had just come out 2 weeks.
Just come out. It's amazing.
So there was cold weather right up until the time you got there, basically, right?
Yeah, it rained while I was there a lot, and I guess temperature was in the high 60s, but then got up to 70. You know, it was nice. I like the change of seasons, and it's nice to be where it's raining and warm. You know, because when it was raining, it was in the 70s. In California, when it rains, it's cold. But it was nice. It was nice to see everybody. Nice to see some flowering plants that you don't see out here. Peonies were in bloom. Lilacs were still in bloom.
Alas, Tiger, he forgot why he left Michigan to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why.
You going to move back?
I'll never forget why I left Michigan.
So you're back safe and sound. Speaking of traveling, we got some big news today. I don't know when you want to talk about it, but when the time is appropriate, we should mention that trip.
Why not now? Because our trip is finalized.
And what a trip this is.
We've been working on this for probably 6 weeks now to iron out all the details. And the only thing that I regret that I wasn't able to do, and you pointed it out to me this morning, I appreciate that it's not up on our website, but you can go to earthboundexpeditions.com.
And we will have it on our website coming up soon.
Yeah, probably next week. But earthboundexpeditions.com has the entire itinerary, day by day, has the hotels, has the price of the tour, and it's phenomenal. We're going to the International Wildflower Festival.
These aren't tame flowers. These are wildflowers, right?
And they're in Slovenia, in the Julian Alps. And we're going to be staying in Lake Bled. I can't think of a more beautiful place. Just spectacular.
Got a great hotel on the lake, you said, this morning?
Yeah. I looked up the hotel that they had sent, and I was just amazed at all the things you can do. It was kind of a spa-type hotel.
Were you taken aback?
A little. And then besides it, it's a great gardening tour. I mean, we're going to see all kinds of plants, but there's other things like we're going to the Royal Lippenzauner Stud Farm, you know, where the Lippenzauner horses are bred.
My life's dream. To go to a stud farm, absolutely.
I just posted it on the Facebook Live feed.
Nice. Way to go, Tiger.
The link to the trip.
Great.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, the link is there to go look at the itinerary.
Right. And if not, just remember earthboundexpeditions.com.
So you're talking Austria. You're talking...
Austria, yeah, we're going to be going to...
Slovenia?
We start out in Slovenia, then we go to Austria. We're going to be in Salzburg and a UNESCO site, a United Nations protected site. And then from there to Prague in the Czech Republic.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world. We've talked about that before.
That's what we've heard.
That seems to be the consensus. So earthboundexpeditions.com. You can also go to our Facebook page. The itinerary is there. Those of you that went with us, 2015, 2016 to Italy, France, Switzerland, you know what a good time that was. Right. This looks like a fairy tale journey. You say once in a lifetime. I know
the only negative I can think to the tour
yeah.
is that we're limited to the amount of people that can go.
Yeah, so you got to get on the stick, right?
Yep. I was trying to think of something to put on the stick.
There was an awkward silence there. I was beginning to wonder.
Yeah.
So anyway,
go to Earthbound Expeditions. Look at the itinerary. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
And again, as I mentioned, Tiger posted it on our Facebook page. It's right there. So as you're watching and listening to our show this morning, you can actually check it out and see what we're talking about. But let's get some people going. Let's have a good time. It's going to be great.
I've never been to Austria or the Czech Republic, but I have been to Slovenia and Lake Bled. And, you know, I keep telling you guys that I'm pretty sure it's like the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Well, you don't mind going back again, obviously. You love it.
No, yeah, definitely looking. And they have a national dessert, or at least it's a dessert for the city. It's a cream cake that is phenomenal. And you can get that right there in Lake Bled.
You guys keep going. I'm still reading about the trip. This sounds amazing. Right. We're gonna go to picturesque Bohemian villages.
Yes, right. Picturesque Bohemian villages.
Yeah, we're gonna do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Why don't you read a little bit of that, Tiger? Just give us some highlights of what we'll be doing here.
It's got the highlights there, right?
A day with Mozart in Salzburg.
Well,
look at that.
Well, how old is he now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that we're going to be able to be with him That's shocking.
Yeah, there will be music involved, because you're there with Mozart and
Right
Beethoven
there, right?
and all those guys.
Now, which movement, though?
Again, something comes to my mind that I'm not supposed to say on the radio.
You said Beethoven, so obviously I was thinking in that realm, John.
No
Yeah.
way.
Hey, John forgot his computer this morning, and I know that the quote of the week is
it's right here on my phone.
On his phone. Hey,
let's do this.
Good
You ready
man.
for it?
Good job. Here we go. John's quote of the week here on Garden
this is
America.
from Margaret Atwood, and she said, "Gardening is a mirror of the heart. Gardening's a way of showing that you believe in tomorrow. Gardening is an exercise in optimism. Gardening's not a rational act."
It's good. That last line
I
is
like
great.
That.
Yeah.
That's a twist in there,
It
right?
isn't. It isn't rational, really.
No. It's
speaking of gardening,
look at this bowl of tomatoes that I have in front of John right
I was
now.
looking at
And
Tiger's heart.
This is not rational.
Why don't you go ahead and you can do we have a shot of
Yeah,
that?
I
That
can
you
get in
can.
there right there. Boom.
This is what Tiger brought in this morning, and it's a result of your volunteer tomatoes that went crazy and took over the yard.
Yep.
This is and John, what are they? Pekino? What are they, John?
We're thinking it is.
I'm pretty sure it's Pekino because Tiger had a Pekino tomato the year before.
Right.
And they easily reseed themselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the same plant will last from year to year. I think Sharon Asakawa told me that she had one for almost 5 years.
Well, here's the thing. They're a little bigger than a cherry tomato.
They're called, you know what they're called? That size tomato?
Ping pong ball?
No, they're called 2-bite tomatoes.
Ah,
2 bites.
That's right. I
Right,
remember you
because
saying that
it's
before.
too big for
Cherry,
one bite
one
like a
bite.
cherry tomato.
Well, now I'm
But it
embarrassed.
doesn't- but
Now
it
I'm
doesn't take you
embarrassed
three- it
Because
took you three? It
no,
took
it
you
only
three?
took him one.
Yeah, that's why I'm embarrassed. I popped it in my mouth. Took one time.
Right. Well, you are tempted to do that, but those are 2-bite tomatoes.
Hey, who's our first guest? We have 2 guests this hour. Who's number 1?
Yeah, Emma Biggs.
2 guests
is-
this hour?
No.
One
One guest this
yeah.
hour, second guest
There you
the
go.
second hour.
2 guests this show.
Yes.
Okay.
Emma Biggs is our guest coming up. Emma Biggs is a wonderful young gardener that's written a book about gardening, which something I haven't even done, which, not that I have ambitions to write a book.
But do you know 15 years ago, no one even heard of Emma Biggs?
No one even thought of Emma Biggs. Exactly. But,
She's only 13.
I think she's actually...
Is she
I think
older
she's
than 13?
14.
Well, this is
now.
going to be one of our youngest
Yeah.
guests we've ever had on the
I
air.
believe so.
Yeah, well, we've had both her and her father
Right,
on the show
right.
before.
But she's
Yeah.
doing a solo act this morning, right?
Yeah.
Calling in from Toronto.
Right.
Hey, congratulations on your Raptors.
I looked at Emma's website, and she talks about teaching,
Yeah.
giving talks.
Going to lectures.
Yeah.
You think she was 35 years old.
Right.
And she's a grower.
Yeah.
I mean, she grew. We'll ask her about this, I guess. But I think it was like close to 90 varieties of tomatoes, and offered them for sale.
And just this past spring, there was mentioning of her putting on a plant sale.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah, where she had to grow all those varieties of different plants.
Well, I
and
know one of the
tomatoes and
questions Tiger wants to ask her is, why aren't you doing more with your life?
things. Well, I mean, come on.
Let's
be real,
let's
right?
get rolling. You're 13, 14 already.
She does say on her website that she lists everything she does, and she goes, and all this is only part-time
Part-time.
because I'm 13.
Yeah. Still have to go to school.
Got to go to
for
school
7
and
hours of the
live
day
my
or
other
whatever it
life.
is.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about the trip coming up. That'll be May, June of 2020 to those fantastic places. We've also got our YouTube page up and rolling. I think, John, would be a good idea maybe next week or whenever you get around to it, you could also put a link in the newsletter to our YouTube page, much like you do for the podcasts. And we'll be doing one of those again today.
Yeah.
Another podcast.
Another podcast.
John without his computer. What a show this is going to be. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. We're going to take a break, come back with our guest, 855-424-9825, or John at GardenAmerica.com, streaming live on Biz Talk Radio. Stay with us.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Rates based on a man age 42 with no tobacco use of any form for 20 years. Policy number 25. Policy underwritten by various life insurance companies. Premium includes a $50 policy fee. Rates and underwriting criteria subject to change at any time. Not available in some states. You've heard those term life insurance ads with the rates read very low, and at the end they have a long disclaimer read extremely fast. Why? Because most people like us will never qualify for those rates. It's just a way to get you to call. Listen, at the Term Lifeline, we'll never quote you a low rate hoping you'll call, then try to sell you something else. But we do promise to get you the best rates available on policies of $500,000 or more with professional service. Don't waste your valuable time. Get the real rates you want on term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more from the Term Lifeline. Call now.
800-430-1891. 800-430-1891. 800-430-1891. That's 800-430-1891.
My mom's a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life. Their free breast cancer exam caught the cancer early, and it saved her life. But now the foundation needs your help so they can continue offering free or low-cost breast screening exams, saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car, whether it's running or not. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction, plus the great feeling you'll get knowing your donated car is going to help save more lives. Just call 800-295-4183 to set the wheels in motion. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 800-295-4183. The United Breast Cancer Foundation needs your help, and your donation could literally save women's lives, helping them catch breast cancer early, like they did with my mom. Donate today. 800-295-4183. 800-295-4183.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-0964. 800-984-0964. 800-984-0964. That's 800-984-0964.
Missed an episode of your favorite show? No worries. Catch all the episodes on demand at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Okay, back here on Garden America. Happy Saturday morning. Glad the weekend is here. If you're watching us on Facebook, and every now and then if the screen does freeze, just do a quick refresh, top left-hand side. Should be okay. You can also reach us, questions, comments via telephone at 855-424-9825. Also, John at gardenamerica.com with his telephone, if that works. Just kidding. John doesn't have his computer today.
I don't think it's going to work.
Again, best bet right there, Facebook Live, as we continue to monitor with your questions, comments. And again, Tiger also put the itinerary up on Facebook Live for our big trip coming up in 2020. That said, let's do a little bit of a chit-chat with a good friend from Toronto.
Yeah, so this morning we have Emma Biggs, a experienced young gardener that's written books about gardening, that's written articles, that's lectured about gardening, all under the age of Emma. Good morning. Are you 14 now?
Yeah, good morning. I'm 14.
Yeah, all under 14 years old. Under 14 years old, I don't even think.
Oh, at 14, I was a mess.
I don't even know. I barely read a whole book, let alone wrote a book, you know?
Yeah, Emma, how long has this been part of your life where you really started to get serious and to have accomplished as much as you have at the age of 14?
Yeah, well, the gardening part started when I was young, and Dad always just had me out in the garden pulling carrots and picking tomatoes, and that was the start of the gardening. And then writing the actual book, Gardening with Emma, was 2 years in progress of just writing and editing and re-editing and getting sick of reading your own work over and over again. But it's finally come out, and it's been such an amazing journey.
And it would have been done sooner, but she had to learn how to write first.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, Emma, what inspired you to write a book? Because it's such a great idea from a kid's perspective, and you don't see this often. I mean, where a kid is writing about something from a kid's perspective at that moment in time. But what a great idea. I mean, what inspired you to do this book?
Yeah, well, it actually started with a book that me and Dad wrote before this, and I drew the illustrations and I wrote the captions, and Dad wrote all the other text, and we had a lot of fun with it. And then we went to a publisher and said, do you want to reprint this? And they said, no, but we want to write another book about gardening with kids. And so that's how Gardening with Emma came along, is actually just the opportunity to write another book. And when Dad asked me, I said, yes, of course, I want to write a book. But then I think as we were writing it, I really realized how much the aspect of gardening with kids was so important.
Yeah, and it is important because gardening for children teaches them a number of things. I mean, the quote of the week that John talks about, there's optimism, there's overcoming troubles, but then at the same time understanding that it's unrational to be able to do it sometimes. And for children, that's an important lesson that they get out there and they learn where the food comes from and learn how difficult it is to grow, and there's success and failures. Now, for you in gardening, what excites you? I mean, is it vegetables? Is it flowers? What excites you about gardening?
I've always been really excited about growing edibles. So mostly vegetables. I'm growing a few edible flowers this year, which are kind of neat. And in particular, I love growing tomatoes. That's my favorite thing to grow. I had 133 varieties last year, and I think I'm more than that this year. I haven't counted yet. But so tomatoes have really been my passion recently.
You grew 133 like full tomato plants. You're not talking like plugs you started. You grew 133 varieties of tomato last year?
Yeah, 133. Wow. And I grew them on my garage rooftop. We grew them in straw bales on my driveway. I'm growing them in my neighbor's yard. I'm growing them in raised beds under our neighbor's giant walnut tree. And so it was really fun trying to surpass all these challenges and fit even more tomato plants in my yard.
So when you mention that makes me think of John and asking John about what his favorite rose is, and it's kind of like picking your favorite child. What was your favorite tomato last year?
I've had that question a lot, and it's so hard to choose because I love all of them. They're all so different. They all taste so delicious. But I have to say I'm super excited about the tomatoes with blue shoulders, so the ones that are blue on the top. And this particular one called Great White Blues is a big beefsteak tomato that's white on the bottom and blue on the top. And I just found it absolutely spectacular. And so that's got to be one of my favorites.
Awesome. And so right now for you in Toronto, where are you at in the tomato growing process right now? Are you guys in harvesting stage, or are they still flowering?
We've had a really late, really cold spring. It's been really wet, which is hard for the tomatoes in the ground, and really cold. So I started the seedlings inside, but I couldn't take them outside for a lot longer. And so they're not even at flowering stage, most of them yet. So it's behind, but I think maybe we'll get some extra warm time in the fall instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's been a late winter back east, and like John just got back from Michigan mentioning how the weather's just it's been a lot longer in terms of trying to heat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So
in your book, Emma, you kind of hit on some points that I think it's important to mention, that, it's written from the kid's perspective. And the things that you mention are what I think would excite kids about gardening in general, whether it's the vegetables or flowers. was that an easy process for you to be like, well, this is what excites me about gardening, so I think other kids will be interested? Or did you kind of go back and forth with that over time to kind of find some points to put in the book that you thought kids would connect with?
Yeah, I think that was the hard part, because if it was my choice, I could write a whole book on tomatoes or growing edibles or growing cool colored carrots. But I think it is important because not all kids are going to be excited about the same thing. And I think even just my brothers, one of them is really excited about birds and the other one is really excited about bugs. And one of them likes growing poppies and the other one wants to grow giant pumpkins and melons. And so just looking at the differences between all three of us, I had to see that, different kids are interested in different things. And so by taking what their interests were, my interests were, what Dad thought, what we've seen when we do speaking, and even talking to other kids. We talked to a kid who grows giant pumpkins for fun, and we talked to kids who had a roadside flower stand and grew a ton of flowers. And so I think by doing that, we kind of got a ton of different perspectives on and ideas on what things might interest kids in the garden.
Okay. Hey, Emma, let me ask you this: with your experience of kids that are basically your age, maybe a little older, a little younger, what is the thought process? Are a lot of kids into gardening? Are you seeing any kind of maybe an upswing or an uptick in terms of the interest with people your age?
Yeah, I think my age is a little bit harder to get people involved. I find my friends aren't that interested in gardening. I know they love coming over to my house and eating all my tomatoes and all the good stuff I grow, but I think the best time to get kids excited about gardening is a little bit younger. So maybe my brother's ages like 9 and 10, or even before that, like 6 and 7 would be the best time. But even now, it really depends on what a kid is interested in.
Hey, we have to take a break here in just a minute, but I wanted to lead you with this question when we get back from our break. For kids, sometimes it's a challenge keeping them interested. It's one thing to go out and plant and, do all of that, start a seed. But then, these plants are going to take a month to a month and a half. So, Emma, when we get back, I want you to mention about some tips on how to keep the kids interested in gardening, okay?
All right, and do stay with us. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. We're going to take a break, come back with Emma as we approach 30 minutes after the hour. Happy Saturday. I'm Brian Main. This is Garden America.
Sometimes business owners and entrepreneurs don't follow a traditional schedule. Well, that's where Biz TV's Biz Club can work for you on your time. For only $5.95 a month, you can have over 200 hours of our fresh, original content on demand, anywhere, anytime. And with our search feature, you can quickly and easily find the topic or show you're looking for in seconds. Sign up today and see what you've been missing. Free for 7 days. Join the Biz Club. It's Biz TV. On your time.
Attention, Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. If you use dual-ended combat arms earplugs and suffer hearing loss or tinnitus, you may be entitled to compensation. The manufacturer agreed to pay millions to settle allegations it sold defective earplugs to the military that were standard issue to soldiers deployed between 2003 and 2015. If you served during those years, were issued combat arms earplugs, and suffer from hearing loss or tinnitus, call now.
Call 800-410-9446. That's 800-410-9446.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
If your
fed up with your credit card's high interest rates and your balances are so out of control that they never seem to go down? One call to Consolidated Credit can get the relief you need. Consolidated Credit has helped over 6 million people with credit card debt, and their certified credit counselors are ready to help you. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast without destroying your credit. The program works, and the consultation is free. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Solutions, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DN 1492, Oregon DN 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Not a loan company.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to wavewater411.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to wavewater411.com. That's wavewater411.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Watch some of your favorite shows on Biz TV. Check to see if you get Biz TV by going to biztv.com. And now, back to Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we thank you for your support. Thank you for listening and being right there just about every Saturday here, Facebook Live. Here in San Diego, first hour, always heard on AM 1240 and streaming around the world across the country through Biz Talk Radio. Tiger, as we continue with Emma, and very young person doing a lot of big things, a lot of adult things, basically.
Yeah, and she's doing something that I have a challenge doing, and which, I mentioned before the break, is how do you keep kids interested in gardening? Once it's started, how do you keep them coming back for more? And that's one of the problems I have. I mean, most kids under the age of 10 can have some attention span, but me, I'm still here and there.
But Isaac is 2 years old,
and him and I have the same attention span. So Emma, what are your thoughts on keeping kids interested in gardening?
I actually sometimes have those times, and I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm a little bit bored in the middle of the season. But I think the best way to overcome that is to always have something growing, always have something planting. So if you do a small, if you succession plant, so if you plant a little bit of lettuce 1 week and then 2 weeks later plant a little bit more, then you'll always have a steady income of harvest. And I think that's good because that's kind of the fun part, right? That's what everyone's waiting for. They're waiting for the fresh tomatoes. They're waiting for the fresh lettuce. And so maybe grow an early tomato variety or just plant lettuce every few weeks so that you always have some coming in. Because I find that's really the fun part for kids especially, is the harvesting and the eating.
Yeah, definitely is the harvesting and eating. Definitely, and then you mentioned one of your brothers, and John had mentioned Isaac. One of the other fun parts is the bugs, is the getting out there, finding the worms, finding the bugs, finding the spiders out there. He loves to get out there and find that stuff. And, that's something else that, you mentioned your brother has an interest in, and that's where you can kind of keep the kids interested as well, is that during the growing cycle, there's a lot of things happening in that way also, getting out there and having some fun. Brian had asked you before, the kids your age, are they kind of interested, your friends? The fact that you've written a book, the fact that you go on TV, you do radio, you do videos, do you get questions at school? Like do kids come up to you and ask you a lot of questions about gardening?
Actually, I don't get really any questions from my friends at school, and I think not many of them are gardeners. And some of the people who aren't in my class don't even know, because I think I'm a little bit introverted at school. I'm just like, okay, get my work done, go home and be in the garden. And so some of them don't even know, and that's fine with me because I love coming home to my tomato plants and hanging out.
It's kind of like you.
I've actually had.
Go. I'm sorry. I was going to say you have two different worlds, don't you?
I know, it's kind of funny. I'm at this quiet, crazy middle school setting half the time, then the other half the time I'm on radio and growing tomato plants. So it's kind of funny.
Now, I'm sure, like you say, some of the kids don't know, but I'm sure parents out there are familiar with it. Like, do you get questions from adults? Like, do you get questions from adults coming up to you and saying, hey, I have this tomato plant, what's going wrong? Anything like that?
Yeah, well, actually, when I told one of my teachers, she asked me about she's having a problem with one of the plants that she was growing, and so she asked me all about one of the plants that she was growing, and then all my friends' parents who follow my dad on Facebook see everything that I'm doing. So sometimes I'm over at my friend's house and I get questions about this or that, and it's kind of funny.
Oh, that is funny. I don't know if your dad allows you or to have a cell phone or not. I don't know the proper etiquette and age yet. But one of the things that happens with me, and I'm sure John and Brian can contest to this, is that I get pictures throughout the week from friends and family. And it's like, hey, what's going on with this tree? What's going on with this plant?
I get it here at work.
Yeah, I'm
all
sure,
the time.
right?
What's wrong with my this or my that, or what's going on here? One of the first things I tell them, though, is first of all, don't use tap water. Let's just start right there. Use good water, then we'll go on from there.
Yeah, so if you don't have a phone yet, Emma, be happy, because as soon as you do, or as soon as you get out there, people are going to be bombarding you with all kinds of inquiries. It's a lot of fun, though, to be able to kind of help people out and troubleshoot for them. But it's funny that people will just send you the pictures and messages and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I actually do have a phone, but I'm not getting those questions yet, luckily. People are going after my dad instead, which is great because it means I can relax. But people do DM me through Instagram. They're messaging me saying, when do you start your garlic, or how do you do this and how do you do that? But it's not too bad yet.
Well, that's kind of cool, though. I mean,
it's so fun.
It'll gradually build up, too. The more popular you get, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So, speaking of, becoming more popular, so you have a book out. You have a book out that you shared with your dad. You and your dad do a radio program. You do how-to videos. How can more people follow you? How can more people, where do you want to drive people to find out where all of these, different things that you're doing? Where can people see this at?
Yeah, so my website is emmabiggs.ca, and it has links to the video series I did about kids growing and cooking. I did it with my friend in Pennsylvania, Ty, and then it has links to where you can find the book and all different articles that I've written, and I have a blog and stuff like that. And then on Instagram, my account is emmabiggs_growth, and so I try to post every once in a while, or I'm trying to do it every day. It's not going so well about things that are happening in my garden. So I posted pictures of the peanuts I'm attempting to grow and all the other weird things I'm trying this year. And so that's kind of my more regular updates of what I'm doing.
Well, I have a question, though, Emma. You're 14 now, heavily involved in this industry. What is it you want to do, though, as you get into your late teens, early 20s, going to college or whatever? What is it that you see yourself doing?
Yeah, I've been asked that question a lot, and really I haven't had much time to think about it, actually. I think gardening has been so much fun for me, and I think no matter what I end up doing, which I think is going to be something gardening related, I think it's always going to be a passion of mine and something that I keep doing. Even if I study something else, I know I'm always going to have a garden in my backyard.
And you'll never have to work, because when you find something you love to do and you make a living out of it, there you go, right?
It's not work, right?
It's not
I
work.
know, it's perfect. I can go outside and grow tomatoes and write about how to grow tomatoes and make enough money to pay off my debt for all the tomato seeds I've bought.
Exactly.
Well, I did post the link to be able to purchase Emma's book on the Facebook Live feed, so the followers that are watching right now on Facebook Live see that link. If you're listening on the radio, you can go to the program, and I'll post Emma's website on there also. That links.
So most everything's going to be on Facebook right away.
Right.
Yeah,
if that's what you want to look at. Hey,
it's
Emma?
also links. Those two links are in our newsletter too. So if you
that's great.
Get the newsletter.
Emma, a question not related to gardening. Are you ready?
Maybe.
Okay. Here's the question: Raptors or Maple Leafs?
I'm not a hockey fan, really. Or a
Really?
basketball fan,
Are you the only? You're the only person in Canada
we
that's
don't
not a
have
hockey.
Cable.
Oh, you don't
I
have.
know, we don't have cable, so we can't actually watch any sports.
Oh.
We go and see a Jays game every once in a while.
Okay, but you like the Raptors.
Yeah, I like the Raptors probably more.
Well, we gave you Kawhi
funny,
Leonard.
though.
Kawhi Leonard came from
We
San
were
Diego
on-
State.
Oh, well, thank you then.
You're welcome. Tiger, go ahead if you want to wrap this up.
Oh, Emma,
It's funny, though, because we were on a school trip and we were in our hotel rooms, and we came back early to the hotel rooms just because the Raptors were playing. And so we were in Montreal. And then it was funny because it was midnight and we were all supposed to be asleep, and there's this big stampede out in the hallway of students running up and down the hallways and cheering when the Raptors won.
Beautiful.
And so I know at least the people around me are Raptors fans.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Looked like the city really embraced the Raptors this year. So that's very nice to see and hear.
Yeah. All right, Emma, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. And again, for more information, they can go to the Facebook Live feed and the newsletter, emmabiggs.com. Good luck, and, look forward to having you on in the future. Emma, if anything comes up, please give us a ring, okay?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show. It's great talking to you.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
I think she's got a future kind of laid out for her either way. Wherever she goes, she's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
She's very
definitely.
smart, you can tell.
Well, and I think the biggest thing, that comes from gardening is kind of like, and I go back to this a number of times, but John's quote of the week, what Emma mentioned, that, what it teaches you as a person is more important than some things that can ever come out of an educated person. Patience, persistence, dealing with failure, gardening is all of that all the time.
It's responsibility.
And I don't care, if you graduated from MIT, with an amazing degree, those things in a person are going to make them, that much stronger.
Absolutely. When it comes to graduating from MIT, we can talk to John after the break about that. Okay, 45 minutes after the hour, John Bagnasco's here. Tiger Palafox, I'm Brian Main. Welcome, Facebook Live. Those listening first hour, AM 1240, and, of course, streaming live, Biz Talk Radio. Questions, comments, let's see what's happening there. Facebook Live. We're going to come right back after this.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
down.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
Do you have a car, truck, van, or SUV you're not using? You can donate your unwanted vehicle to Patriotic Hearts to help our veterans, and you'll get a tax deduction for your donation. In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, van, or SUV to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Call 800-330-2462 for 24-hour response. Again, 800-330-2462. 800-330-2462.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
From Main Street to Wall Street, we have the business content you need. So sit back, take notes, and tell your friends about Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We are right back with you, Facebook Live, streaming, of course, Biz Talk Radio here in San Diego. Radio station AM 1240, so thank you so much. Again, 855-424-9825. Want to give us a call. It is our final segment. Emma, great guest, a 14-year-old, got a great future ahead of her, Tiger.
Yeah.
Thank you for lining that up. That was good.
Yeah.
And a lot of good reaction on Facebook, too.
Hopefully we'll get in touch with her later in the year as well after she's harvested some of her tomatoes and plants and be able to chat about that and kind of, keep up to date with what's going on in her life, because I think that we're going to see her in the future for sure.
Kathy from Neyland, California, posted on Facebook, was there a newsletter this week? Because she said she didn't get it.
I just saw that.
And it did go out.
It did, yes.
But I noticed that last week's newsletter, for some reason, only went out to like 1,500 people.
Oh.
And there were, 5,000 or 6,000 that did not get it. So I must have done something wrong last week. But I think this week I made sure that I hit everybody.
If you didn't get the newsletter, let us know. If you didn't, wait till next Friday. Again, give it another week, and then we'll see what's going on.
This week had the recipe for those kale chips.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those were phenomenal.
The healthy kale chips.
Not only healthy, but they taste good.
Are they really good?
Oh, yeah. It's like better than eating Doritos.
Don't you love people who pretend to like kale? Oh, I love kale.
Yeah, kale's delicious.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I've never really cared for
so
kale
good.
except for these. It's just like eating any kind of chip.
Well, you like J.J. Kale. I know that.
What's J.J.?
J.J. Kale, musician.
Yes.
Never heard of
that.
him.
Sounds like a name.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of musician?
Bluesy.
Oh,
kind of.
That says it all right there.
Your whole life's been bluesy, hasn't it?
No. I've never been into jazz, blues, any of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
You know who was Bruce Asakawa.
Oh, yeah. And he used to like Al Jarreau, one of his favorite singers.
Yeah, he would know all that stuff, but not me.
Okay, so, again, here we go. Final segment. Tiger just reached over, picked something up in front of you, John.
However, if you're talking about folks.
Very rude. Very rude. Now he's sniffing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sniffing the basil I grew. You can't smell this, John? It smells delicious.
It's time to pick on John now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can smell
it. You can smell that.
It's
and by the way, hold on.
And you saw that on Facebook.
So, John, you're going to have to give a play-by-play because I want to show the listeners, our viewers, my sweet peas. Remember I talked to you about these? Isaac planted these late, and we didn't know if they were going to bloom?
Right, and I was going to ask you about that because rarely do you see sweet peas in San Diego in June, almost July.
Okay,
right?
wait. Did he plant them or just throw them around?
Well, with the poppies, he just threw the seeds.
Okay.
And I don't know if those are blooming yet, but they really look good.
Yeah, there's a little delay, Tiger, on that. So hopefully, here we go.
Got the sweet peas coming up.
Yeah, and
that's unusual,
some of those
huh?
are super fragrant. One of those varieties is that pot sweet pea, like the compact one that you're supposed to kind of have more in containers.
Yeah.
And, with gardening, there's always give and take. And I have these roses. John's going to be so sad. But they're miniature roses, so he won't care.
So it's no big deal.
Yeah. But the roses don't look as good, and I'm not taking care of them because the sweet pea is growing up in through it. And I don't want to prune out the rose because I want the sweet pea to still be intact in there. And so I'm using the rose as a trellis.
They grow clematis in the roses.
Yeah?
You see those together, right?
That's true, huh?
There's even books written on clematis varieties.
This sounds like a good time for me to admit something now that you've said that. I have combined when I'm short on pots or soil, I will put something in the same pot with a rose and just kind of let them fight it out and see who's the strongest.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're doing fine. Everything's doing just fine.
Every time you tried that with your bamboo, though, the bamboo died.
Yeah, what is it with bamboo? I don't have luck with it. Bamboo should be easy to grow, right? It really should be.
It should be.
You plant it and let it go, and it's a little messy, so what? But I just haven't had the luck.
I don't think
need a panda.
They don't do really well in small containers, I think.
And I think I don't have enough sun. Right?
I don't know.
They don't need
that much sun.
Yeah.
It's usually a
operator
container.
error.
Well, no, it's usually like a container issue.
Yeah, I bet you that's what it is.
Like John talked about the biosalt earlier, or humate products, or it's releasing the nutrients because they really like fertilizer.
Okay.
But even people that fertilize them a lot and they don't see a reaction, and it's usually because all that fertilizer is just kind of bound up into the soil and it can't get it. Because even watering is usually not a huge problem with bamboo. They like the water. They need a lot of water.
Yeah, they'll grow faster with water.
But, they won't die because
I think it's a container issue.
Yeah, usually is.
Now, didn't you, this goes back a few years, you gave me bamboo with something else in the same pot. Was that the
was
it the ficus?
A few years ago. You walked in here one day.
I never forget plants.
He knows it was bamboo and something else.
There was spider plant in the pot.
Yeah, the spider plant survived.
The spider plants will survive apocalypse.
Spider plants are the cockroaches of.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Spider plants back east are a common house plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have them inside back in the 70s.
And a lot of people would get black tips to the spider plant. And that's caused from the fluoride that's in the water.
Oh.
So if you have that problem, just don't use, use distilled water or something.
That's why I tell people around here when they're watering plants, they go to the sink. I go, no, don't do that. Give it bottled water.
Yeah.
Bottled water for everything, right?
Well, it depends what it is.
That's true. But, I mean, you're going to get tip burn, and there's things that can happen because of the salts, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending where you are, what's in your water. It's possible.
Depending upon where you are, there you are, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Anywhere on San Diego's water system needs bottled water.
Hey, we should mention, too, as we approach top of the hour news, if you thought it was just one guest today, no, you're wrong. We have a second-hour guest, don't we, Tiger?
Yeah, we're going to be chatting with our wonderful friend Melinda Myers. And, she's going to join us, and we're going to continue talking about springtime gardening. We're going to be talking about fertilizing during this time of year and, the flowering perennials that are happening right now.
Always full of knowledge. Great guest.
Yeah, I mean, if we can do away with John, I would definitely replace it with him, with Melinda.
And he's fine with that.
All you have to do is talk her into moving out here. Talk her into moving out here. I picture Emma as growing up to become a Melinda.
A Melinda?
Yeah,
because
really.
Melinda is one of the most knowledgeable gardeners out there. She goes by the Great Lakes gardener, and obviously the Great Lakes area is her area of expertise. But anybody who's written over 20 books on gardening knows a lot about gardening.
Emma's got a head start. There's no doubt about that.
I was going to say, she's about 18 behind her right now.
Hey, we've got news coming up top of the hour on many of these BizTalk radio stations. If your local market doesn't carry us next hour, Facebook Live is always a good choice. And again, streaming live on BizTalk Radio. As we approach top of the hour, almost afternoon, East Coast, here in the rest of the country, San Diego, so on and so forth, still Saturday morning. John Bagnasco, Bryan, Maine, and Tiger Palafox taking a break, coming back after the news. Stay with us.
Listen on the go. Download the BizTalk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. BizTalk Radio. The opinions you hear on BizTalk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, BizTalk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on BizTalk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about BizTalk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. This is BizTalk Radio, America's home.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
President Trump is off to Camp David now. Before leaving, the president spoke to reporters at the White House and was asked again about Iran and why he decided to call off the airstrike.
I don't want to kill 150 Iranians. I understand it. I don't want to kill 150 of anything or anybody unless it's absolutely necessary. And most people very much agree with what I'm doing.
President Trump has directed ICE agents to conduct mass roundups of illegal alien families that have received deportation orders, an operation that will likely begin with pre-dawn raids Sunday. Tom Homan is the former acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. He reminds us of one thing.
If they don't do operations like this, if they don't carry out the judge's order, there'd be no integrity in the entire system. It means nothing.
Homan was speaking there on Fox News. This is USA Radio News.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7.
Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with Pill Reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
21 of the 24 major candidates seeking the Democratic Party's nomination for president are gathering in Columbia, South Carolina for an event hosted by U.S. Congressman Jim Clyburn, the highest-ranking black member in Congress. Former VP Joe Biden is in South Carolina and still refusing to back down from statements made of nostalgia regarding working with segregationist senators. Biden does have someone on his side, Republican Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham.
I don't want Joe Biden to be president for a lot of reasons. But one of the things that I like about Joe Biden, he's a decent man. There's not a racist bone in his body. He is my friend. And what he did back then and what he will do in the future is try to find common ground with people he disagrees with. If that can't be done, America's best days are behind us.
The central U.S. is starting off the summer with severe thunderstorms. Forecasters are warning of potentially dangerous weather from Texas all the way up to Illinois. The main threats include flash floods, high winds, and frequent lightning. This is USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290, 800-965-1290.
During a congressional hearing about potential reparations to descendants of slavery, former NFL player Burgess Owens suggested that if anyone was responsible for paying reparations, it was the Democratic Party. Owens also pointed out that reparations were not necessary and would send the wrong message to future generations. Chris Harris is the executive director of Unhyphenated America. He tells Fox News,
"The black people I know who are the happiest in America are those who realize that they're part of the fortunate 4.2% of the world's population to be living here in America." But, you know, here's about the issue of slavery and reparations. You know, when you continually put someone first and they put you last, that makes you a political chump. And we keep putting forward this issue every year. There's the same people, the same congressmen putting forth this issue every year, or at least they put it forth every year when there's a Republican in the White House. But yet they've had multiple opportunities to put forth this issue. They had it ever since the Congressional Black Caucus has existed. There was a time when Jimmy Carter was in the White House and he had complete control of the Congress. There was a time when Bill Clinton had complete control of the Congress. There was a time when Barack Obama had complete control of the Congress. If it was going to happen, it would have happened then. But it's not going to happen. Black folks, listen, I really want to tell you, it's not going to happen. They're treating you like Lucy treated Charlie Brown.
Please remember, you can always find us online at usaradio.com or on Facebook at USA Radio. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
If you're fed up with your credit card's high interest rates and your balances are so out of control that they never seem to go down, one call to Consolidated Credit can get the relief you need. Consolidated Credit has helped over 6 million people with credit card debt, and their certified credit counselors are ready to help you. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast without destroying your credit. The program works, and the consultation is free. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Solutions, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492, Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Brian Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
It is hour 2. Thank you so much. If you were with us during the last hour, we certainly hope you enjoyed Emma, our guest, our 14-year-old garden guru, Tiger.
Yeah.
And we'll have her back, or at least get some updates from her. It is hour 2. It is 7 minutes after. We want to wish everybody on the East Coast a happy good afternoon to you. Happy Saturday afternoon. And a good morning to the rest of us here in San Diego, broadcasting from the iHeartRadio studios. If you do listen to our podcast, we do appreciate it. If you haven't heard yet, you can also download the iHeartMedia app or go to the newsletter. John puts a link in that newsletter that will take you to the podcasts, and we have one set up for today. Also, go to our YouTube page. We need subscribers. That's what we want to encourage, is go to our YouTube page, become a subscriber. All the shows are there. Every show from the last, 2 years?
Yeah.
It just goes on forever.
It's only, $49.95 a month to subscribe?
No, John, that would be wrong. It's nothing to subscribe.
What? Free. Free.
And how do we do it?
Volume.
That's how we do it. So, yeah, subscribing is nothing, obviously, on YouTube, but just go click and become a subscriber to our show. That's YouTube. Go to the YouTube page, Garden America Radio, and then click videos, and all the videos are going to show up. Page after page after page.
Yeah, good how-to videos.
Yes,
good
everything.
Information.
Podcasts are up there. Radio shows are up there.
If you've got a question, we've answered it.
Yes, we'll answer it again, too.
Yeah.
But go to YouTube, go to Garden America Radio, our YouTube page, and please subscribe. If not, then I guess we'll just shut things down, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, the first hour we spoke with Emma Biggs, 14-year-old gardener, author, radio show host.
Entrepreneur.
Out of Toronto. And she was, Tiger was talking to her about how do you get kids interested in gardening. And Carol on Facebook posted that she said, for kids' interest, grow some butterfly plants, different types of Asclepias.
That's a good idea.
And then she said, pick off the monarch larvae and put them in a large glass jar, that you can get from Walmart, with lots of leaves, a little bit of water, put it in the house, and watch the metamorphosis from the larva into the butterfly.
It's really cool.
That would strike huge
really
interest,
cool.
Yeah, kids like doing that kind of stuff.
They like to see results and things that happen rather quickly. If they have to wait too long for anything. So what do you, John always suggests growing radishes, right? If you want to see something grow
radishes
fast.
are quick.
Yeah.
Super quick.
Sunflowers, of course. That was something I gave you. Didn't you take some sunflowers?
I did not, no.
Did not. Did I not bring those?
You brought in.
You brought
in like a what was it called? A
Sunfinity.
Sunfinity.
They're
sunflower.
small. They're small one. The smaller sunflowers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, but you get a lot. I thought I gave you one. Maybe not. Maybe I gave them to Tiger.
Whatever. I've got enough. I got enough plants at home anyway. No, I don't. No, you never have enough plants. Go
Good
ahead.
news. The Papaver poppy that Isaac planted in that giant mass, they're budded now.
Really?
I like it when you say he
about to
planted. You mean he threw?
He just dumped the package there.
Yeah. So they aren't the ones that are going to take 2 years. Thank goodness.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly updating for those joining us second hour. Again, Melinda Myers is standing by. John, quickly, bullet points. The trip coming up May, June 2020. The itinerary, where we're going. Just give us some bullet points.
We're going to the International Wildflower Festival in the Slovenian Alps, the Julian Alps in Slovenia. And we're going to be staying in Lake Bled, where I've been before, and it is probably the most beautiful place, as I've mentioned many times, that I've ever been. It's spectacular.
Would you suggest people look up Lake Bled if they want to get an idea of what you're talking about?
What I'd really suggest is you go to earthboundexpeditions.com.
Okay.
And look at the day-by-day itinerary, and there's some pictures there. But
okay.
The hotels are also listed, and if you look at the hotel that we're staying at in Lake Bled, you can see all the activities around the lake. It's just going to be phenomenal. Then we're going from there to Salzburg in Austria, and ending up in the Czech Republic in Prague. So we'll be seeing all kinds of gardens.
Will we be in Vienna?
We're not staying in Vienna.
Okay.
We're staying in, well, I can't remember now because we were going back and forth between Salzburg and Vienna. So you'll have to read the itinerary.
Okay, I will do that. And also, Tiger put the itinerary up on our Facebook page.
The
link.
Live.
The link, yeah.
The link to the itinerary.
Right. He didn't have to do that. That was nice, Tiger.
You're welcome.
Well, I think his contract says he does have to
do
do that.
Okay. Yes, he does. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. We've got, let's see, 855-424-9825. Any questions, comments? Your best bet right there on Facebook Live. And Melinda, Tiger, is ready to go without any... There's been a lot of ado, so without any further ado, let's bring on Melinda.
Yeah, so joining us this morning is our good friend Melinda Myers. Melinda, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. We actually have sunshine and a little warmth for a change, so was out in the garden weeding and planting, still planting, so it's a great day.
What were you planting?
This is embarrassing to say, but we had such cool wet weather. I'm still putting in peppers, but I've got them under, I know. We'd had temperatures in the 40s, and it's rained every day. So I've been using row covers. I gave a talk the other day, and somebody said, I put my peppers in Memorial Day, and they're doing nothing. And I said, cover them up with floating row covers, and you'll be amazed at the difference. So, it's the joy of gardening. Every area, right, has their challenges. So
I was in Michigan the last 2 weeks, and I know exactly what you're talking about, Melinda, because up in northern Michigan, the leaves only came out on the trees a couple weeks ago.
I know. It's we keep telling everybody in the world that we love the four seasons, and that's why we live here, but I think we're lying to ourselves as well.
Hey, Melinda, I have some peppers growing right now, and one of them is still growing. I have some kind of hot pepper. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I've had peppers on them, and they're yellow. They will turn red. And then I started a whole bunch because I'm super into this movement here. Have you had a shishito pepper?
Shishito? This is one of my dishes I do prepare. I love shishitos. Yes, you just lightly, roast or saute them, a little bit of sea salt, a little olive oil. This is one of my 4 recipes, I can tell you.
I planted 5 plants.
I did too. I don't feel so bad, Tiger. Thank you.
Yeah. I planted 5 plants. I'm like, I need to eat these every day.
I'm looking at the expression on Brian's face, and he's got a question in his eyes, like, what is shishito?
No, I'm just enjoying this conversation between Tiger and Melinda. This is getting me all excited about peppers.
Have you had shishito peppers
No,
before?
I haven't.
See?
No.
I could tell that look in your eye.
The mind was turning quickly, and I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah. I just came back from Michigan, and there were a lot of deer out there. Same
Deer
look.
headlights.
Little headlights, yeah. Exactly.
So Melinda, a little twist to the recipe is a little bit of soy sauce too. A little bit of soy sauce on there.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Shishito peppers.
Well, and you and I will have enough to try many variations.
Yes, exactly. I'm really excited about that.
Now, does shishito...
It's a great appetizer in restaurants, and you pay a lot for a plate of these, and they're tasty, but you can make them, they're sweet, pretty mild, and then every once in a while you get a hot one, and so it's a little surprise.
It's a bit of Russian roulette. It is. It is. There's a bowl of like 20 of them, and in there about 3 or 4 are definitely hot ones.
You never know what you're going to get.
No.
Like the jelly beans, right?
Yes.
The Bean Boozled jelly beans. Hey, do the plants on the shishito grow the same way as regular bell peppers, or do they look a little different?
They're long and skinny, and a little bit, and they grow down. They're not upward facing like ornamental peppers.
That's kind of what I thought. Yeah.
And they're a couple inches, like 2 to 3 inches long, and a little bit. They kind of have those lobes to extent, but not as pronounced, and they're not as blocky as say a bell pepper. But I think Tiger will be bringing him in every Saturday and Sunday for you guys to enjoy.
Yeah, and if you happen to be watching on Facebook Live at all, Melinda has seen it. I brought in this bowl of what we're trying to determine. It's a volunteer tomato, but they're kind of ping pong ball size. John calls them 2-bite tomatoes that volunteered in my yard, and I have a whole bowl of them. And that bowl is probably only about a quarter of what's actually ripe right now. Because I have this volunteer tomato that's taking over a half of my backyard.
We're pretty sure it's
Melinda.
a pecino, though.
Yeah.
I'd lay bets that that's what it is.
Those are fun snacks. You were talking about kids, and I'm going to be on a panel with Emma and her dad at the American Horticultural Society Youth Symposium in Madison, Wisconsin in July. So I've had a chance to chat a little with her, and she's great. We were talking about kids and getting kids excited not only about gardening, but I'm always trying to find ways to get them to eat their vegetables.
Hey, Melinda, I want to jump in, Melinda. We've got to take a break. Hold that thought because we had a great conversation with them. I want to hear more about this. With Melinda Myers, going to take a break. We're going to come right back. This is Garden America on your weekend. Happy Saturday to you. Stay with us.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Rates based on a man age 42 with no tobacco use of any form for 20 years. Policy number 25. Policy underwritten by various life insurance companies. Premium includes a $50 policy fee. Rates and underwriting criteria subject to change at any time. Not available in some states.
You've heard those term life insurance ads with their rates read very low, and at the end they have a long disclaimer read extremely fast. Why? Because most people like us will never qualify for those rates. It's just a way to get you to call. Listen, at the Term Lifeline, we'll never quote you a low rate hoping you'll call, then try to sell you something else. But we do promise to get you the best rates available on policies of $500,000 or more with professional service. Don't waste your valuable time. Get the real rates you want on term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more from the Term Lifeline. Call now.
800-430-1891, 800-430-1891, 800-430-1891. That's 800-430-1891. This message is sponsored by AmeriGlide, featuring the nation's best prices on a home stair lift. Are you having a difficult time getting around your home? Do you avoid going up and down the stairs? Have you even considered moving from your lifelong home just to avoid the stairs? Forget about moving and call AmeriGlide and learn how an easy-to-install stair lift is the perfect solution to help you get your freedom back. Plus, we guarantee the nation's best prices. Make this free call today to learn more. No sales visits are necessary. We can help you over the phone. Now you can stay in the home home you've been in for decades. Please do yourself or your loved one a favor. Make this simple 2-minute call right now. Get the lowest price on a stair lift anywhere. Here's the number: 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. 800-886-7342. That's 800-886-7342.
Missed an episode of your favorite show? No worries. Catch all the episodes on demand at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we thank you for being there with us on this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending upon where you are, 21 minutes after the hour, at 855-424-9825, Facebook Live as we continue. This is hour number 2, Melinda Myers, Tiger, and a lot of good information. We're just getting started.
Melinda?
Oh, yes, I'm still here.
No.
Just want to make sure.
No. I didn't hear that. And then, but before the break, you were just chatting. You're actually going to be on a panel with Emma and her dad and talking about kids gardening. And before the break, you were talking about how you guys were going to be discussing how to get kids involved with gardening and vegetables and all of that.
Yeah, and one of my favorites is sun sugar tomato. You were talking about bringing a bowl of tomatoes in for all of you to eat. My grandson's birthday is in September, and I took a big bowl of sun sugar they're yellow cherry tomatoes, very sweet, and I brought them as a dish to share, and all the parents looked at me like, you are nuts. Well, my grandson and my granddaughter know how good they are, and they started eating them, got their friends to eat them, and they were gone. And nobody could believe kids would just chow down on tomatoes. And then I also love microgreens because we talk about quick results. Boy, you plant those seeds, you're eating in a couple of weeks, and it buys time. And then the radishes, as John was recommending, are done. And and so you can keep the interest. I think for all of us, no matter how experienced we are in the garden, we do like to see things pretty quick.
Yes.
So some of the things that work for kids work for all of us.
And you mentioned turning around quickly, but then. This is kind of a funny thing that we're talking about now because when we were first talking about having you on, the topic that we were discussing was summer and extending your perennials, extending your crops into the summer, which for you haven't even started yet as far as there is no extending.
Yeah.
You can extend it just because you've had bad weather, right? And, but there's things that people do need to consider when they are extending their plants into the later months because there's good ways to keep those tomatoes going, keep those flowers blooming. And, so I want to hit on that topic, but it's funny because I think across the nation, we're all already behind, right?
Oh, exactly. And I think the other thing is, luckily gardeners are optimistic because we wouldn't do a garden 2 years in a row. And the weather has been, right? It's been so challenging. The weeds are doing great. I have to say I planted 1,000 daffodils last fall, which seemed like a really good idea when I ordered them. But this cool spring, they were beautiful for 3 to 4 weeks. So that was the positive.
Yeah.
So you're right. So as those spring flowers are fading, which may be July for some of us, removing those faded flowers to make the plant neat and tidy sometimes promotes additional bloom on annuals and some of your perennials, can prevent reseeding on those plants that you like but tend to seed around the garden. And even with all this rain, I think of some of the begonias and some of the plants that are subject to some of the mildews. If we can keep the faded flower blossoms off the leaves from creating that humid, wet, shaded area, we can avoid some disease problems. So, deadheading isn't the most glamorous part of gardening for most of us, but if you think about all the benefits, that's one way to make it a little bit easier. And staking with all this rain and cooler weather so many of us have been experiencing, a lot of plants are stretching and getting tall, and if they're not flopping over yet, they might be soon, and the earlier you stake them, the easier on you and the plant.
Well, you mentioned deadheading, and you're right. Deadheading is not a fun, glamorous part, and it's you're out there and you have to be detailed with it, and it takes a lot of time. But
it's still more fun than playing golf, I think.
Yeah, no, you are right in that.
I'm with you, Brian. Exactly.
But you know what I tell people to do is, be proactive in deadheading and cut the flowers and bring them inside, because if you use them, inside, as far as arrangement, even if that arrangement, like for instance, I have the salvia, it's a red one. It's not forest fire, but it's one like that. And I'm like, I don't care if they only last for a day or two. I'm going to get 1,000 more blooms out there already, that if I bring them in just for an afternoon, that's good enough for me.
Sure.
Because, I'm not like I'm removing a
now
lot of these.
That's if you know what you're doing. If you...
Yeah. That was good.
I'm not saying I have a wife that just indiscriminately cuts things.
No.
But if you have a hydrangea bloom that's going to stay on the plant for 2 months.
And you cut it.
And it's dead in a week.
Yeah.
You've just wasted it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully she's not listening right now, that person.
She's out there cutting hydrangeas right now.
John,
it's fine.
John's phone is ringing, but he has it on silence.
Well, actually, hydrangeas are her favorite flower, and she does make really nice arrangements with them. But, I'm not in the house. I'm outside, so I want to see them.
What's funny?
My arrangements are on the bush.
I've had this hydrangea plant for several years, and it wasn't until John told me that his wife, that was her favorite flower, that I became like really enamored with it. And now I love it. It's like I guess what you gave me was kind of a focus. Like, hey, you're missing something. Check this out. Yeah. They're beautiful.
And they last a long time.
And they last a long time, too. They do make great arrangements, too.
I'm not even going to argue with that. But I really like to see the plants outdoors when I'm working.
Yeah.
But, Tiger makes a good point, especially with annuals, right?
Yeah.
The more you cut them, the more you're going to end up getting.
Yeah, and and then Melinda, the hard thing too is when you're out there in the garden, you got your herb garden, you got your basil, you got your cilantro. Oh my gosh, those are always needing to be deadheading though. But they're always you're always having flower. I brought in a piece of basil here, and I brought it in to show the flower because it seems like it's just always ready to flower. Cilantro is always ready to bolt on you. That you do have to get out there and deadhead and keep those down.
Well, on annuals,
and I
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, and even if your basil does flower, you can still eat the flowers as well as the leaves.
Yeah.
I had somebody see mine that was in bloom giving me a hard time, and I'm like, oh, I like to use the flowers.
Yeah?
I hadn't gotten around to it. Was
I didn't know that.
That you could eat the flower?
Did you just mix it in just like you would normal basil?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
What if you're making pesto? Can you put it in the pesto?
I've never tried that. It might make it a little... I don't know. You'll have to let me know. I haven't tried
well, I was kind of hoping you'd let me know so I didn't waste my time.
It's amazing what you can get out there and really do. I mean, just today, Melinda, you said you were working in your yard before you jumped on the radio with us. Before I came in studio today, I went out, I harvested these tomatoes, I harvested the basil, I cut some flowers, but I also pulled about a 5-gallon bucket of weeds because I was there and I'm working and you have to do that. But, extending extending our season into the summer can be done, but it just takes a little bit of work, right?
Oh, exactly. And, I always like to keep a bucket with a pair of gloves and a weed knife. And so anytime I go out and I have 5 minutes, pull a few weeds, it makes it easier. And, fertilizing to give them that boost with Milorganite is not a bad idea either. It'll help keep things looking good, blooming, and growing well.
You know what? We're going to continue that thought, the feeding of our plants and Milorganite after this break. It is almost 30 minutes after the hour. Melinda Meyer's going to come back, and I know she's very busy, so we'll wrap things up. But do stay with us with a lot more great information here on Garden America.
And now, a page from the Diary of Flo.
Dear Diary, the ghost is back. This house is protected through Progressive, but that doesn't mean it's not haunted. How else would you explain that radiator-like clanking sound? Or the moon-colored light in the hallway that's gone by morning? Maybe he never bundled home and auto, and he's doomed to suffer an eternity without the savings.
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive.
What was that wind-like sound? Oh, right, the wind.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark, host of Consider This, found right here Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock. Join us as we break down the financial world, things that truly matter to you, things that you should consider. You can find out more at our website at yourlifeafterwork.com, but join us Sunday morning, grab a cup of coffee, and let's break down the 5 critical elements, the things that can really change your financial life. Numbers 800-928-4001, yourlifeafterwork.com. We'll see you Sunday morning.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to wavewater411.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to wavewater411.com. That's wavewater411.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Do you have a car, truck, van, or SUV you're not using? You can donate your unwanted vehicle to Patriotic Hearts to help our veterans, and you'll get a tax deduction for your donation. In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, van, or SUV to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Call 800-330-2462 for 24-hour response. Again, 800-330-2462. 800-330-2462.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-0964. 800-984-0964. 800-984-0964. That's 800-984-0964.
Watch some of your favorite shows on Biz TV. Check to see if you get Biz TV by going to biztv.com. And now, back to Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we are back. It is 35 minutes after the hour. Do want to thank Melinda Myers. Very, very, very busy, taking time out of her schedule to spend some time with her garden buddies here in San Diego Tigers. So before we wrap things up, let's go back to Melinda, talk a little bit about Milorganite, and wrap it up for a Saturday.
Yeah, so before the break, Melinda was just mentioning on how to extend your plants and crops into the summer for us all to be able to enjoy it longer. And the last thing she hit on was, giving it a little shot of fertilizer. And Milorganite's a good fertilizer for that because it's a, slow release. It's a non-burning fertilizer. Melinda, do you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, I think one of the really key things is we never know what's going to happen with the weather. We can go from this cool, wet spring into summer to extremely hot, dry conditions. You guys know better than I. And, Milorganite, like you mentioned, is slow release. And so if the weather gets hot and dry, it won't damage your plants. So you don't have to worry about, if I fertilize now and it turns hot and dry, is there going to be a problem? Plus, it's slow, steady growth, so the plants are less thirsty. They don't need as much water. They're more drought tolerant. You're not going to promote succulent growth that's susceptible to insects and diseases, and you're not going to interfere with bloom. So it really does a lot of good things that really make it goof-proof and easy to use.
I just got back from Michigan. We were staying at my brother's cottage up at Torch Lake near Traverse City, and he had just hydroseeded the bank, and he's, right there on the lake. He hydroseeded from between his house and the lake, and he said, I need to put some fertilizer. What can I do? And I said, well, just get some Milorganite. And he said, well, will I burn what I'm doing? And just like Melinda says, you don't have to worry about it at all. Plus being on the lake, he doesn't have to worry about leaching into the lake.
Yeah. Right. The phosphorus is non-leaching. It's low nitrogen, so you're not going to be having that wash away, and the microorganisms do the work for you. So it's really it's a wonderful product you can use on anything, and that's the other thing I like. I have a lot of bags in my shed and my barn, and it's because I can use it on everything. I don't have to think about, is this for this plant or that plant? So, if it's easy, we're more likely to do it, at least for me.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us this weekend, Melinda. It's been a pleasure as always. Always lots of good information. Are you busy this weekend, or do you have a chance to continue working in your yard?
I'm actually have the whole weekend to try to get the rest of my pepper plants in the ground.
Nice.
So
oh, that's good.
It is always fun to chat with you guys. You guys, I hope you have a great weekend as well.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thank you, Melinda. Do appreciate it. Lot of information, a great product, Milorganite, and again, as you mentioned with your brother, John, right? That's your name, John?
Your brother.
With what he used it for.
My brother's name is Dave.
Dave, but with what he used it for was perfect.
Yeah, well, he hasn't used it yet. He's going to go out and get it, but absolutely. And like Melinda was mentioning, especially with the way the weather is right now, you can go from being cool to hot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And if you've used a chemical type fertilizer, you can go from everything being just right to burning.
Somebody was asking me yesterday about why their plants were like one day looking like they're blooming, the next day like it was winter, and I explained the weather. It's the weather. When you can fool plants into thinking that, hey, it's a different time of the year just based on the extreme weather changes. So there you go. Yes, John.
You know what I noticed when I came back from Michigan? We were talking earlier about kale, and I had a cosmic kale plant that was looking fantastic when I left, and I came back, and it was bigger, but had a ton of holes in it.
Oh, yeah?
And even though the weather's been cool and they've been delayed, caterpillars are starting to come out. And I noticed on the roses, rose slugs are starting. And anybody out there that has roses, if you're seeing the leaves of the roses look like something is gone through and put holes all over the leaves, that's from a rose slug, which is it's called a rose slug. It's not a slug. It's the larva of the sawfly. And you can take care of those very easily with something like spinosad, or even neem maybe would do the job.
Yeah, I think spinosad works better. Neem, but you've got to apply it more often.
Right.
Spinosad, I think, is every 2 weeks, which is
10,
kind of nice.
10 days to 2 weeks.
To not have to get out there weekly on, especially if you're
And it's about 100% kill.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
So let me ask you a question about if somebody's looking at leaves and we want to identify various chewing insects. So if somebody sees a hole right in the middle of the leaf, not from the outside.
A clear-cut hole.
Clear-cut hole in the middle of the leaf, as opposed to like chewing from the outside.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? What kind of bugs?
Slugs and snails.
Those are slugs and snails.
Yeah.
I have both.
Yeah.
I know I've got a lot of snails. I noticed on my hibiscus, the leaves.
Well, you can get now, you never used to be able to do this, and it's only been, maybe the last 20 years you can do this. You can get an organic snail control, which is iron sulfate, and is a fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
So you can...
It does both.
Yeah, there's Sluggo. What else is out there?
Sluggo's been out there for a long time.
The Natural Guard slug and snail bait is iron sulfate.
And you can put that around and actually helps your plants, and it'll take care of slugs and snails.
Yeah.
I planted... What's the name of that? Oh, Big. The begonia.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that
Begonia
before.
Bigs. And they're doing really good. But I had noticed before I left, I had caught a snail out there and smashed it and threw it out.
Aww.
But when I came back, there were no holes in the leaves, and I never put out the snail bait. But I saw 2 of the decollete snails.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so they're doing a good job of keeping those clean.
I meant to ask you off air, but we talked about the podcast, and I thought that would be a good podcast to do, is the beneficial insects.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe that's what we'll do today after the show, is the beneficial insects podcast.
Now, John, decollete snails, I mean, even though I've got a patio, I could just get those and toss them into the pots and stuff, and they wouldn't, they do the same
but
job.
if you do that, you have to make sure you don't put out any snail bait.
Exactly.
You don't want to kill them.
No, exactly.
And, once they get rid of all the snails, they'll
There's nothing for them to eat.
eventually kind of go away because...
Yeah.
They're not going to, stay in a pot forever.
Well, it maintains a balance.
Sure.
It's the balance of nature, Brian.
Is it? Is it kind of the circle of life, or is that a whole different
thing?
thing?
The new Lion King.
The new Lion, which, by the way, is coming out
amazing.
soon, right? With all the different new technology. But it's supposed to be not cartoon. It's supposed to be more animated, CGI.
No, they call it something.
Something else?
Real. What was the new Aladdin? There was a term for it. I don't remember.
Can't keep track of all this. I do know that it's 42 minutes after the hour, though.
But, hey, so we talked about fertilizing. And, John, if you pick up the tomato that I left outside of the bowl right there.
That's one that's split?
That's splitting. So, Brian, if I have splitting tomatoes, it's splitting down the side.
I'm going to guess that's a weather thing.
Yeah.
Is that a temperature?
Could be, could be a number of things.
I don't think it's an insect at all. I think that's happening naturally.
Yeah,
right?
It is happening naturally. And, people that have splitting tomatoes, there's a few things that can cause it. Number one, like you say, weather, cool to hot, that could be causing it. Overwatering.
I was going to say, right?
The cool thing about that is that there's no water going to that tomato as well. And this is the disgusting part of gardening.
So now you're troubleshooting now what it could be.
And this is the disgusting, because it could be also underwatering, right? Isn't that frustrating? Isn't that frustrating when you go into a garden center and they say, hey, what's wrong with my plant? Well, you could be underwatering it. You could be overwatering it. But
then what kind of soil are you using? How much sunlight does it get? I mean, right?
When I went into a nursery and I asked about a problem and heard somebody say too much water, or they go, well, then not enough water, I would just go ask somebody else. It means that person really doesn't know what they're talking about. I would say 90% of the time, splitting tomatoes is too much water.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah.
But you've got thousands of those pequinos, and you got one that's splitting, and you're complaining?
I'm not complaining. I just brought it into show.
No, it's a good
because,
curiosity question.
I know people have that problem as well with tomatoes, that they'll grow and they'll split or they get damaged somehow.
Generally, people overwater tomatoes, I think. And if you want to know,
they need to let it wilt every once in a while.
If people want to know how often to water their tomato, because everybody has different soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And depending how far you are from the ocean, you've got different climates. All you've got to do is water your tomato really good, and then don't water it till you see it wilting. And however long it was between your water and when it started to wilt, okay, I need to water just a little bit before then.
Yeah.
Right.
If you went 3 days and it started to wilt, well,
2
then
days.
2.5 days,
Yeah.
I need to water.
Yeah, and And like you mentioned, like actually once they become established, because that's the thing, people kind of keep the same watering cycle when they're seedlings all the way to when they're fruiting. And you're like, no. That root system is now
it's established
16
right?
to 18 inches into the ground. It's spreading all over the place. Where it was only receiving a cup of water before, it's now receiving gallons of water. So, you need to cut back as they become more and more established.
We're going to come back. Marilyn has a Facebook question.
All right.
Which we'll address.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
also
Marilyn.
got a comment from Jan on how chickens will take care of your slugs and snails. Brian.
How about that? After the break, we're going to get into all that. Thank you, Facebook viewers, and the rest of you listening via streaming on Biz Talk Radio. Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Thank you so much for tuning in. One more segment here. It's Garden America.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
It may have been a messy divorce that suddenly cut your income in half, but not your bills. It might have been an injury or illness, or your boss just cutting back your hours. It doesn't really matter how you got in over your head. It only matters that you are, and that we're here to help. If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call Action Debt and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. One day late, they charge you a late fee. Miss a payment, they double your rate. You just don't think it's fair, and neither do we. This is not bankruptcy or just a simple rate reduction plan. We fight for you using our proven experience in the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call Action Debt at 800-384-7099. Just because you got in over your head doesn't mean you have to stay there forever. Call 800-384-7099 today and we can be on your side tomorrow. 800-384-7099. 800-384-7099.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on ConsumerAffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
From Main Street to Wall Street, we have the business content you need. So sit back, take notes, and tell your friends about Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Brian, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is our final segment. Thank you so much for those that have been with us since the very beginning today. 2 great guests. We had Emma first hour, Melinda Myers second hour. Lots going on, and noticing during the break a couple of questions, Tiger, on Facebook.
Yeah,
or at least one question, right?
Yeah,
and a comment or two.
And Marilyn from El Cajon says, "What can I do to get rid of green looper worms on my hosta plant?" I was wondering if about a rose systemic. So
Hasta la vista?
Hasta la vista.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised Maryland has hostas.
Especially in El Cajon.
Yeah.
And, usually...
They just don't like the heat.
No,
I
that's
was going to say,
really
they
hot.
usually like it a lot cooler. She probably has them in the shade somewhere because I can't imagine it.
Well, they have to grow in the shade anyway, even where they grow.
Yeah.
But they need cool winters, which we don't have. But El Cajon gets cooler than the coast, so maybe.
Yeah. But green looper worms and, maybe I'm going to be corrected by John, but I would say most systemics are imidacloprid. So, that's what people use nowadays for a systemic insecticide. So would an imidacloprid work on a green looper worm? And, I don't know that one off the top of my head because it doesn't work on all worms, systemics. So,
well, one of the problems with systemics is that the insect has to eat something before they get killed. So it would probably do a good job. It would help prevent some of the problems maybe. But I see that on Facebook that Carol mentioned to use BT, which would do a good job. I would recommend using spinosad, though, which is also a bacteria.
Yeah.
It just it lasts longer than BT, and it takes care of a wider range of insects than BT would. But either one of those would be fine.
And the nice thing about the hosta is that all you have to do is spray the kind of top of the plant because, the green looper worms, it's not like they're hiding underneath and you got to get under the big foliage of the hosta or anything like that. No, if you're trying to take care of the worm, all you got to do is spray the plant and it'll solve it. So.
She says that it's in the patio slight sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really needs to be protected from El Cajon sun.
Yeah, right.
If at all possible.
Yeah. So spinosad or BT, one of those would work.
Spinosad seems so easy.
Also, snails and slugs love hostas.
Yeah, and spinosad would work on.
No,
not on the snails.
No, that's right.
No,
Sluggo Plus. I was thinking Sluggo Plus.
Yeah, so
and it has
Sluggo,
spinosad in it.
Sluggo would be the thing to use. Sluggo Plus, like you mentioned.
You're not still turning snails over and pouring salt on them, are you, John? You stopped doing that, I think, didn't you?
Well, I used to like the oil and garlic, the escargot.
Oh,
you know
boy,
where those snails came from, right? The European brown snails?
Probably my patio.
Well, the reason we have them in California is because they were imported to eat. And somebody threw out a bunch one time, and they just ended up infesting the whole state.
Wow.
We're lucky we can use the killer snails in Southern California, but there's only 7 southern counties that they're legal in.
They're illegal, right, in many states?
Well, in the rest of California.
Why are ferrets illegal in California?
Politics.
You like that segue? Going from snails to ferrets?
Why would pygmy marmosets be illegal
Right.
in California? I mean, really,
ridiculous.
I want a pygmy marmoset.
So there was another comment
Under the
there.
leaves.
Yeah. And Marilyn mentioned that her worms were under the leaves, not on top.
Yeah, but you can just spray the top because
Right.
They're not.
You
gonna
don't
just,
have to spray it on the leaf.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, on the insect.
No.
itself.
Oh, and I was going to say,
around it.
and I was going to say that and another reason why you might not necessarily want to use the imidacloprid is because it's in a pot, and there are some like Bonide put out a houseplant systemic, which is a very low what would you say volume of imidacloprid that's good for pots. But like for instance, if you use the Bayer Rose and Flower liquid, they tell you not to use that in pots because it's a little stronger concentrate. And sometimes using the imidacloprid in pots for potted plants,
It doesn't drain properly?
Well, it's just too strong. It's
Okay.
just too strong. And if you but like the granule Bayer, they say you can use that one in containers, but you don't use the liquid one.
I'm trying to remember. I could be wrong on this, but I don't think the imidacloprid in pots is the problem. I think
It was
it's
the
the fertilizer is too strong to be used in a pot, because if you read the directions, there's a recommendation for using it in pots, and you have to cut back on the amount. But I think it's because of the fertilizer. Could burn the roots.
Because I just remember reading the Bonide one that's meant for houseplants, and the volume of imidacloprid in that one's just really low. It's crazy how, and you only use like tablespoons of it in like 5-gallon pots or something like that.
Well, and also that's indoors too,
Yeah,
so you got to be a little more careful.
Careful with that. Yeah. So yeah, as far as the hosta those, I'm surprised she doesn't have snail problems more so than the worm problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's crazy. They find their way into everywhere. Somebody did mention copper tape for snails, and that is it's like an electric fence. It keeps them protected, but once they're in it, they also don't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like gopher cages.
Yeah, once they're in the cage, they're fine.
Yeah, speaking of gophers, what is your prognostication, John, on your new property? Think that's going to be
Gophers everywhere.
Everywhere, huh?
Yep.
He's going to get a couple snakes.
But so far, everything's in pots, so I don't have to worry, right?
Gopher snakes, that's what you need, right?
Yeah. I need something that's going to... I can't... So I started looking for a dog for the kids. One of my prerequisites, though, is hunting rabbits.
But you have
For
to
a
be
dog.
You have to be very, very quiet.
We visited some people one time, and we were sitting outdoors, and I had a huge driveway and a wood pile along the driveway that they used for, fires in the winter. And a rabbit came hopping across the lawn, and their dog just came racing out.
Excellent.
Barking as loud as it could be. The rabbit went into the wood pile, and this dog took these huge logs, just threw them everywhere, and eventually got the rabbit.
Love it.
Wow.
I need that dog.
Have you done your research as far as what kind of dog would be the best for your problem?
So the only problem is that a lot of the ones that do hunt like rodents are kind of the smaller dogs. And so I need to find a medium. I have not found a good medium-sized dog.
So that's your quest, and we will
Yes.
keep you updated.
You want to borrow my have-a-heart trap?
Nah, I just want them gone.
You don't have a heart?
You guys keep
exactly.
talking. You guys just keep talking. We got a podcast following. Thank you so much
Yes.
for joining the show. I want to thank Jeremiah, our director and studio coordinator, John Bagnasco Bryan, Maine, Tiger Palafox. Going to get set up for our podcast. Until then, we'll see you next week. Get Growing America.
Listen on the go. Download